Module Overview. The tourism industry is an interdependent system influenced not only by market demand, but also by policy decisions, legal frameworks, government regulations, and international treaties. For tourism to develop in an organized, equitable, and sustainable manner, well-structured policies and strong regulatory frameworks are essential. This module explores the theoretical foundations, design, implementation, and evaluation of tourism policies, and examines the legal instruments, public sector involvement, and regulatory institutions that influence tourism practices on local, national, regional, and global scales. You will critically examine how tourism policies align with national development goals, environmental regulations, labor laws, cultural protection mandates, and international tourism standards. The module also explores zoning laws, health and safety codes, immigration controls, licensing procedures, taxation policies, investment incentives, tourism-specific legal frameworks, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Additionally, the module highlights how governance structures, public-private partnerships, tourism boards, and international treaties such as those created by the UN WTO and WTO play a pivotal role in managing tourism's impact and direction. 7.1 Introduction to Tourism Policy. A tourism policy is a set of guidelines, regulations, objectives, and frameworks adopted by a government or institution to direct the development and management of tourism in a region. Key characteristics: long-term and strategic, aligns with national and regional development goals, influences planning, investment, and destination branding, encourages public-private collaboration, ensures sustainability, equity, and quality standards. 7.2 Components of a tourism policy framework. A. Vision and goals. Clear articulation of what the government seeks to achieve, e.g., economic diversification, job creation, cultural preservation. B. Strategic priorities. Key areas such as infrastructure, marketing, training, digital transformation, sustainability. C. Implementation mechanism, budgeting, timelines, assigning responsibilities, institutional arrangements. D. Monitoring and evaluation. Key performance indicators, KPIs, audits, feedback systems. 7.3 The role of government in tourism regulation. Governments influence tourism through both direct and indirect methods. Direct roles: investment in infrastructure, airports, roads, tourist sites. Operation of tourism boards. Enforcement of safety and environmental regulations, providing incentives, tax breaks, subsidies. Indirect roles: visa regimes and immigration policies. Currency controls, macroeconomic policy, affecting inflation, interest rates. Foreign exchange regulations. 7.4 Legal instruments in the tourism sector. Licensing and permits for tour operators, hotels, restaurants, and guides. Labor laws regulating working hours, wages, health, and insurance. Environmental laws related to pollution, waste, wildlife conservation. Zoning and land use laws affecting location of hotels, resorts. Consumer protection laws on service delivery, refunds, and safety intellectual property laws, protecting destination brands, cultural heritage, public health laws, especially relevant after pandemics like COVID-19. 7.5 Tourism regulatory institutions. These institutions ensure the tourism industry operates legally, safely, and ethically. National Ministries of Tourism, Tourism Development Corporations, Tourism Regulatory Authorities, Immigration Departments, Health and Safety Agencies, International UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization, ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, IATA, International Air Transport Association, WTO, World Trade Organization, especially GATS, General Agreement on Trade and Services, UNESCO, Cultural and Natural Heritage Preservation, ILO, Labor Standards in Hospitality and Tourism. 7.6 International Conventions and Protocols Tourism, is deeply embedded in international law and diplomacy, especially through multilateral agreements such as Global Code of Ethics for Tourism, UNWTO, the General Agreement on Trade in Services, GATS, WTO, the Montreal Convention, Airline Passenger Rights, UNESCO World Heritage Convention, International Health Regulations, WHO. Countries that sign these treaties must harmonize local policies with international standards. 7.7 Zoning, Land Use and Development Control. Land use planning and zoning regulations determine where tourism facilities can be developed, height, density, and architectural standards, conservation of natural and cultural landscapes, prevention of overdevelopment and land conflicts. Local governments usually enforce zoning laws through municipal planning boards, tourism site management plans, and environmental impact assessments, EIAs. 7.8 Tourism, Investment, and Fiscal Regulation. To attract investment, governments may offer tax holidays, capital allowances, import duty waivers for tourism equipment, public-private partnerships, PPPs, destination-specific investment policies. However, such incentives must be balanced with community interests, environmental sustainability, and labor protection. 7.9 Digital regulations in tourism. In the era of e-tourism, governments and institutions are also regulating data protection and privacy in online bookings, consumer rights on digital platforms, OTAs like Booking.com, online fraud prevention, cross-border digital taxation of foreign platforms. 7.10 Challenges in policy and regulation, weak institutional capacity and corruption, conflicting interministerial policies, inadequate enforcement of existing laws, lack of stakeholder engagement, over-centralization of authority, resistance from private operators. 7.11 Best practices in policy and regulation. Inclusive and participatory policy making, transparent enforcement mechanisms, integrated tourism master plans, evidence-based lawmaking, periodic policy reviews and updates, capacity building for regulatory institutions. Countries like Singapore, South Africa, New Zealand, and Rwanda are noted for having effective tourism regulatory systems. Learning outcomes for Module 7. By the end of this module, you will be able to define and explain the purpose of tourism policy and legal frameworks, identify institutions responsible for regulating tourism activities, analyze how government policy shapes tourism development, understand zoning, licensing, labor, and environmental laws applicable to tourism, interpret global treaties and international regulatory standards, critically assess challenges and propose solutions for better policy implementation.